Prescription eyewear. Prescription eyewear.
The Roy Rogers Show, starring Roy Rogers, King of the Cowboys, Trigger, his Golden Palomino, and Dale Evans, Queen of the West, with Pat Brady, his comical sidekick, and Roy's wonder dog, Bullet.
$1,000 reward for Kurt Carlson. $1,000 reward. Those cheapskates. Roy Rogers, acting sheriff.
Timmy Horton, I've been talking to you the last 5 minutes and you ain't heard a word I said.
Yes, I have, Dad, but do we have to go through all that again? I told you I don't want to go back to school.
Your ma worked and planned for you to get an education, Timmy. And you're gonna do like your ma planned.
It's my life.
I never had no education. Look at me.
What's wrong in being a rancher?
Nothing's wrong with it. But if I'd have had an education, I might have had a big spread instead of a little one. That's what your ma used to say to me. Jeb, she'd say, if you only had a little more schooling, no telling what you might have been.
I know what she said. You've told me over and over a million times.
What's the matter with you? You ain't touched your food.
Oh, I'm not hungry.
But you gotta eat. Growing boys gotta eat.
Dad, will you lay off of me?
Say, Timmy, I heard you won the sharpshooting contest at the Rifle Club.
Yeah, I wouldn't have if Mr. Rogers had been there.
But he wasn't. And you did win.
Timmy can do anything he sets his mind to. Trouble is, he usually has trouble setting it. You pick up the groceries, son. I'm going over to the hay and feed store.
Sure can outsmart him, can he? I bet they'll never catch him.
I wouldn't say that. Stace Jones thinks Kurt's hiding out in Black Canyon.
Black Canyon?
Now look, Timmy. If you're thinking of collecting that reward, don't. Kurt's almost as good a shot as Roy.
I'm not thinking of that.
You see this chair? Well, sit in it. And don't try nothing. As I was saying, I guess we put a spoke in Kurt Carlson's wheel, us catching his right-hand man. Yes, sir, we're wearing that cotton-picking outlaw right down to a nub. Oh, don't bother, Roy. Let me book him.
Sure, go ahead, Pat.
Let's see now. Name of prisoner. Pat Manning. You gotta admit he'd have read right past us if I hadn't recognized him. You know, it's lucky for us I took that correspondence course in scientific detecting. You ought to read this, Roy. It tells you all about clues, footprints, and, well, it'll do you a lot of good. What you got there?
It was Stace Jones. He came in to see me and I wasn't here. He left this note. He says one of his Indian cowhands saw Kurt Carlson hiding out in Black Canyon.
Black Canyon?
Pat, you better have Joe Lawrence come over here and look after the office. And bring back some sandwiches and coffee.
Oh, sure enough.
All right, Bat. Pull your chair over there by the desk. Sit down. You and I are going to have a little talk.
Hi, Dale. Have I got news for you?
And have I got news for you? If you think I'm going to run this restaurant by myself...
There you go yamming about me being late when I was risking my life capturing a dangerous outlaw.
Who captured?
Roy. But he wouldn't have hadn't been for me. I seen him right over the hill. Right away, I recognized him. Ain't that Bat Manning? I says to Roy.
Who said?
Roy says to me, we were just coming out of the house when we saw Bat right across Roy's ranch, just like he owned it. There was Roy. Trigger turned out to pasture. No horses in sight. But that didn't stump me. We'll take Nellyville, I says to Roy.
Who says Sid?
Oh, all right. Roy said it. But you should have seen Nellie Bell go after that crook. Just like a jackrabbit. With me a-driving, Roy a-shooting. Why, that old girl just never popped a piston, didn't blow a tire, didn't even boil. I was sure proud of that little old girl.
Who's this for?
Bat Manning. I added some for Roy.
Good. I'll take it over to him. You fill the sugar bowls, and you slice the pie.
What's that slick place, Dale?
And mop the floor.
Mop the floor. Me and my big mouth. Such material clues as cigarettes, tobacco ashes, and scraps of cloth should be placed in separate envelopes. Oh. Each envelope must be labeled as to where the clue was found at the scene of the crime. The scene of the crime. Okay, officers. I'll take over. You all know me. Private Eye Brady.
How are things going?
All right, I guess.
I brought you some coffee, too.
Oh, thanks.
Bat Manning's the last of Carlson's gang, isn't he? You got 'em all.
Except Carlson.
Well, you've smashed his outfit.
You can't stop a rattler from striking by cutting off his tail. You see, Carlson's the head of the gang, and in a few weeks he'll have himself a whole new bunch of outlaws and start all over again. I wonder what's keeping Joe Lawrence. I wanted to get out the Black Canyon before it gets dark. I can't leave till he shows up.
Roy, you got to find my boy.
Timmy.
What happened to him?
He's lit out, left this tied to my horse's bridle. I found it when I come back from the feed store.
Goodbye, Dad. Sorry it has to be like this. But it's my life, and I'm going to live it my way. Don't try to look for me. You won't find me. Your son, Timmy.
He's left me. My boy's gone off and left me. And it's all my fault. I hounded him. I knew at the time I was doing it, but I couldn't seem to stop. You see, I promised his ma I'd raise him right. I was always afraid he'd do something like this, kick over the traces.
You can't ride a spirited horse with too tight a rein, Jeb, or too loose a one.
The best way to guide him is without letting him know it.
If he'd only come back. You think he will, Roy? You think he'd be willing to come back?
Of course he will, Jeb.
Where do you suppose that youngin's gone to anyway? He ain't got no kin, except me. And all his friends are right here in Mineral City.
He might have gone out to the rifle club. Maybe somebody out there knows. Why don't you run out and ask, and I'll get a tracer out on him. Don't worry, Jeb. We'll find him.
When you do, you'll talk to him, won't you, Roy? Tell him his old man's waiting for him. Thank you, Roy.
Well, I'll phone Ransville and Drywater and have the boys keep a lookout for Timmy.
Roy, I just thought of something. But he couldn't do a thing like that.
Like what?
Join Kurt Carlson.
Carlson?
He was looking at that wanted poster in the cafe. Just like Kurt was a real hero instead of a cold-blooded murderer. And I told him what Stace Jones said about Kurt being holed up in Black Canyon.
Same old story, Dale. Run away and be a pirate, run away and be an outlaw. Kids were doing the same thing 2,000 years ago, and they're still at it. You'd think they'd learn that running away only gets them into more trouble, not less. Now I'll have to find Timmy before he finds Kurt.
I'm going with you.
You can't, Dale. Somebody will have to stay here until Joe Lawrence shows up. I guess I'll have to take Jeb's horse. Good or bad, he can't be as temperamental as Nellie Bell. You'll tell him, won't you?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Dale, you better phone my ranch and have Bill saddle up Trigger and meet me at the forks of the old road. I'll have to make time, and I don't want to kill Jeb's horse doing it.
Right.
I'm sorry, Bullet, but you can't go this time. I know you're excited, but I've got places to go and fast, so you get back in the Jeep.
Yes, Stace. Roy got your note. That's why he's going. He thinks Timmy's headed for Black Canyon to join up with Kurt Carlson.
Carlson?
Oh, Jeb, now wait. You can't go. Roy took your horse.
Well, I'll get me another one.
A detective should take great care and study and memorize the faces of all suspects for future recognition. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know anybody was around. You see, I was just studying up on some of the fine points of scientific detecting. You gotta be on your toes to be a private eye. Of course, I haven't took out a license yet, but won't be long now.
I'll bet it won't. I wouldn't be interrupting too much if I asked for a cup of coffee, would I?
Coffee? Oh, no. Coffee coming up. I got some fresh in the kitchen. Here you are. Say, haven't I seen you somewhere before?
I don't know. I've never seen you.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Otherwise, I'd have knowed you the minute I clapped my eyes on you. Never forget a face, Brady, they calls me. But it's just that you look like somebody I ought to know. Now, don't tell me. I got it right here on the tip of my tongue.
Well, don't swallow it. Oh, by the way, where can I find Roy Rogers?
Well, if he ain't in the sheriff's office, he's gone out to Black Canyon.
Black Canyon.
Yep, he's looking for that low-down sidewinder, Kurt Carlson.
You don't say. That's funny.
What's funny?
He's out looking for Carlson. I'm looking for him.
Hey, stranger. Now, you can either take the left fork or the right fork when you get out of town. Both go to Black Canyon. Well, now, that's mighty peculiar.
What's peculiar, Pat?
I could have swore that picture didn't have a mustache. Oh, just as I thought. It's been drawed on. You know, these kids can't keep from putting mustaches on anything.
What's this change for?
Oh, fella, come in for a cup of coffee. New to me. Nice guy, though. About 6 feet, brown hair. Oh, my gosh. It was him. He was looking for Roy. Well, didn't know where he could find him.
Who was?
Kurt Carlson, that's who. Oh.
Brady, what'd you tell him?
I told him Roy'd gone to Black Canyon.
Oh, Pat!
Oh, Dale, I got brains like a leaky faucet.
I've got to go warn Roy.
You mean we've got to warn Roy?
No, you've done enough damage already.
Oh, but Dale... can go, Bullet can go, Buttermilk can go, but I can't. Oh, well, it serves me right. Oh, key. Where's the key? The key? Oh, key! Gonna find it. Thanks, Bill.
Now, what's the matter with you? You would pick up a stone, you puddle-footed nag.
You wait here, Trigger.
Get out of the way, Trigger. Stay where you are, Mr. Rogers.
Your dad sent me, Timmy.
Yeah, well, you can tell him for me I'm not coming back. All I've heard all my life is go to bed, get up, eat your supper, do as you're told. Well, I'm sick of it. From now on, I'm going to do what I like, go where I please. Nobody's going to boss me.
There's always some kind of a boss over us, Timmy. Even the president has to account to the people. If it isn't a person, it's the law. Kurt found that out.
Yeah? Well, I notice you haven't caught him yet, and you won't. He's too smart for you.
He'll be caught. You see, I know Kurt better than you do. He was brought up around here.
Here?
Sure. Where'd you think he came from?
I didn't think.
Well, I can see that. All you've ever seen is a man on a horse lording it over everybody. Not because he's brave, but because he has a gun and he doesn't care who he kills. But outlaws have mothers and fathers the same as we do. You know what happened to Kurt's mother? She died of a broken heart. Kurt's family moved out, changed their name. They couldn't stand the shame he brought on them. Kurt had a lot of friends here once, just like you do. But not anymore. Only enemies. People who would shoot him on sight, just like they would a mad dog. Shall we go, Tim? No, looks like Kurt's caught up with us. There's your hero. Didn't even wait to see who he was shooting at.
You're crazy. Mr. Carlson wouldn't do a thing like that.
Yeah? There he is. Take a look for yourself.
Look out!
It's a nice gun. You know, Kurt was about your age when he ran away from home. Kurt's 32 now. Spent 10 years in jail and the rest holed up nursing bullet wounds. Always on the dodge. Of course, if that's the kind of a life you want, go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. But if you travel with anyone who breaks the law, you'll find yourself riding a dead-end trail.
It's Dad! Hurry! Timmy, look out! Go out there. Let me go, Roy! My dad's out there! Let me go! He's been shot! Let me go! You stick your head out there, you'll get it blown off. You can't leave him like that. He's hurt, maybe dying. The skunk gun down my dad. I'll kill him. I'll kill him. I'll kill him.
Listen to me. That won't do your father any good. And if you want to help him, you'll do as I say. All right?
Okay, Mr. Rogers.
This is your gun, and I understand you can use it. You just keep Kurt pinned down. But don't you dare shoot him because he belongs to the law.
Leave him to me.
Good.
Stop shooting in the canyon.
Drop it, Kurt.
Well, if it ain't Roy Rogers.
Dad! Dad! Dad!
Jeff! Is he badly hurt?
I don't know. I don't know. He's all right, isn't he? He isn't dead.
No, I'll get some water.
Guard him, Bullet.
Don't die, Dad. Please don't die. It's my fault. All my fault.
No, it ain't. It's mine, son.
Dad.
Dad, I knew this trip in town would be too much for you.
Don't you talk back to me, young fella. I'm a changed man. I ain't gonna hound you no more. But if you want to quit school and go to ranching it, you're gonna do it, or I'm gonna tan your hide.
But, Dad, I want to go back to school.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Can't you two ever get together?
Why don't you both have your own way?
I don't see how.
Well, it's easy. Send Timmy to agricultural college.
Yes, there he'll really learn to be a rancher, and a good one.
And a lot more besides.
Now, why didn't I think of that? That's what comes from not having an education. You just go blundering through life,
Shooting off one's big mouth.
not knowing any of the rules.
There's only one rule that we really have to know, Jeb.
That's right. The golden rule.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Happy